artificial intelligence learnings are actually we are planning to bring that to the real time use cases and stuff. So, but last few years, even though we are talking about that, the problem what we are facing is mainly in the categorization. So I can say like we are having structured data, semi-structured data, and unstructured data. So whether are able to apply all these technology stacks in all these areas. So currently we are not able to apply. So the good uh, I have highlighted, like currently the artificial intelligence and the machine learnings are applied in these areas in a good amount of stuff like stock pricing, healthcare. Like if you see the stock pricing, so almost all the stock companies are bringing the algorithm trading and automated trading. So based on the artificial intelligence and machine learning. So I can say, okay, sure. Yeah. Yeah. So currently in the stock pricing, so we are trying to apply all the different patterns stuff like based on the past data and history of the data, p- company's data. We are trying to bring the results and we are trying to apply the machine learning to do the trading for us. So that is one big thing going on. Then the healthcare. So in terms of healthcare, like many big healthcare companies have already invented different mobile apps and technologies. So I can say one example. So one X company has introduced some AI implemented mobile application. So which basically all the cancer patients has to, whenever they are taking the tablets or whenever they are taking any treatments, they have to just apply the same thing in their app. So, so whoever is going to get the cancer in the next future, that particular company is actually telling how long you will be alive with this particular treatment and with this tablet. So those kind of implementations are happening in the healthcare. So this is basically based on the intelligence what we have provided. And chatbots, so many of us already familiar with the chatbots. Like whenever we wanted to reach any support team, so we will get some set of questions. So based on that we are getting places. So if you see like 10 years before, so when artificial intelligence were only in the theory, so all the support teams will be in the people. So other side people looking, so other side people are, yeah, I think I already shared the screen, full screen only. Okay, if someone facing the problem, please notify in the chat. Yeah. So and chatbots and warehousing. So warehouse, where I can say the good example is Amazon. So Amazon is already having around 45,000 plus robots in all their warehousing. Like whenever it gets the notification for the order, it prepares all the things to be, shipped. So all those things we are currently using for real-time practical use cases and self where we very well know about the Tesla. So how they are implementing. So these are the few sectors currently artificial intelligence and machine learning really work. And where we are actually facing the problem is like wherever we have a structured data and semi-structured data, we are able to apply the artificial intelligence and machine. Where we have unstructured data, we are still doing the R&D and POC to bring how it can be better. So one example for this is like currently there is a R&D is going on. So based on the different expressions and the sounds of the animal, a company is actually Google is trying to understand what that animal is actually currently feeling. So those kind of data. So basically, like if particular animal is making some sound, so that sound they are converting into the digital, and that time they are understanding what action it is doing. So maybe during eating what kind of sound it is making, during when it wanted to take rest or when it wanted to roam, so what kind of different sounds it's making, so that they are trying to convert to digital and trying to understand the animal's language by its expressions. So those are few example I can say. Like it is 100% dependence on the unstructured data. So wherever we have a very good structured data, so artificial learning is already in place. So if you see the technologies, like Python is a one very trending programming language where someone wanted to try any artificial intelligence or machine learning stuff, they have to look for the Python, because Python provides a lot of open source stuff where you can actually you can work on only your business. You don't want to prepare your algorithm, you don't want to prepare any other stuff. So everything will be readily available. Whereas Prolog is the next technology, so that is purely made for machine learning. So you will be able to achieve better results with respect to machine learning. And Java, even though Java is a more familiar language, but it is somewhat failing in the artificial intelligence and machine learning, where we won't be able to find the ready-made, platforms to apply all our business. So we need to put more effort to write our methods or algorithms. Then only we will be able to apply our own AI solutions. And next one is language. So that is also for the machine learning stuff. So here I have highlighted few open source links where you can go good exposure, like currently what all the different experiments is going on the AI area. And the next stuff is Internet of Things, IoT. So here that IoT is also currently it is becoming into the boom because of mainly in the healthcare technology. So healthcare like IoT, almost everyone is very well aware of the watches where it counts, basically starts from heart rate and the steps, so all those things. But based on all this, they are doing lot of stuff, like they are trying to scan the complete body of a person by making them to wear some devices, so that if those are in the still R&D phase, so if that is going to be completed successfully, like people don't want to go for hospitality, and they can just wear the device and they can monitor their uh, stuffs in the devices, and they can immediately take next actions or treatments whatever they wanted to take. So those are some good thing currently happening in the Internet of Things. And the smart city and smart home is becoming a good commercial business, like almost starts from Amazon. All the companies are focusing on the smart city and smart home, where all the companies are making a smart home as the good thing, like where you'll be able to control all your home appliances, everything from different remote place. So that is also peaking in this area. And industrial Internet of Things, like all the industries are trying to automate this industrial work and trying to reduce the manual stuff. So that is also currently in happening. So below to that, I have highlighted the technologies where IoT supported stuffs are available. So we have Python, R language, Arduino. So Arduino is basically a device where, so if you want to try any IoT related projects yourself, maybe you need to buy some Arduino device you need to buy. Then in that we will have some Raspberry Pi, some API we have. If you integrate it, you will be able to talk to the device. So this device example will be like Arduino ready-made device is available for controlling your lights. So you can try some R&D or POC if you are interested by buying this Arduino and integrating with the Python. So we also have Zigbee, LoRaWAN, Go language by Google, and Parasail. So all are different programming languages and technology stacks where currently Internet of Things are getting evolved in this area. And I have also mentioned the IoT projects links here, so you will get good practical experiences, and you can very well go ahead and try some samples if you wanted to try in this link for the Internet of Things. So if you see in the chart, like you can understand how the things are evolving, like currently how it is evolving in different technologies. So even the governments are started applying the IoT solutions in all the traffics and all the government offices for notifying the different things. So the few real-time implementations currently happening in different technologies, and healthcare, retail. So all those areas, it's really becoming as a good solution. So next is the cloud. So out of other technology stacks, so cloud is almost in a very good state now. So around 15 years back, Amazon has started the POC, and currently they are having around 216 cloud services. So almost all the companies are maximum mode. 80 to 90% of the companies are moved to cloud. Now we don't have a system like only this particular office data will be stored only in this system, like that. We don't have anything, everything is stored in the cloud. So these are the few top cloud service providing companies. So AWS is Amazon company is becoming the number one in that. So because of the service they are providing, and they have the ready-made solutions for everything. if you wanted to develop if you want to develop some websites like Flipkart or Paytm or any other website, so what and all the different things you will need, everything they are having in their cloud. So you just need to understand their API and just need to integrate to make your web application or real-time mobile apps. So, and in the stack, we also have Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, Alibaba, Oracle, IBM. So these are few uh, good cloud service providers, but AWS remains number one because of the services they are offering and also the competitive price they are providing. And one good advantage with the cloud is like it's a per use basis. Like if suppose we know like some years back Flipkart when introduced some flash sale, their servers became down. Like every all the pen drive stuffs were available for 1 rupee, so more traffic came and it spoiled their complete IT architecture. So currently, like those kind of things are automated using the cloud solutions. If more traffic is coming, then automatically the IT infrastructure will scale without any manual intervention. So the things will be safe. Data are still safe, and it is completely dynamic. So that is how the cloud is currently evolving. Even for the cloud, so currently AWS is mainly using the Java and Python and the um, C Sharp and C plus Go languages currently to develop all the cloud services. Mainly the C Sharp and C plus are used by Microsoft to develop their Azure. So Google is currently using the Go, their own programming language, to build their cloud servicing offerings. So that is how in the cloud area currently we are in. So the next is the data science. So day by day we are having a lot of data. So everyone is almost we daily do lot of feeds on the Facebook, of storages on TikTok, WhatsApp chats, everything. So everything is increasing the data in a very exponential way. So there in that sector also we understand the data, past data, and do some real useful and practical businesses. So in the finance is the best place, like where the currently if you see here right hand side, like risk analytics, real time analytics, consumer analytics, like basically with the data science, the one what we are concentrating is the analytic stuff. So we are just trying to understand how the data are growing. It is very well used in the marketing. Like if you wanted to advertise in some Facebook or Google, so you wanted to understand how much it is costing for the company and how much we need to spend, and even you will be able to target the particular audience you want. So everything is happening because of the data science. For a real time example, I can say if you want to give a small advertisement on the Facebook, you will have a more easy and convenient way, like what product you wanted to advertise and what country you wanted to focus, in that country also what age group you wanted to focus, and even inside that whether the ad you're planning, what kind of interested people you wanted to focus. So by making this, you are actually using the data science, you are actually reaching the exact people, like exactly whom you wanted to deliver your product or service. You'll be able to reach that using the data science. So it is very well used in the marketing and same in the healthcare also, to analyze the past data and provide the future treatments and understanding the medical reports, patients concerns, everything we are doing using the data science. So here the R language is becoming very popular because of the support provides for all the different use cases where everyone needs. And Python is still rocking in this majorly. If you see, Python is there in all the trending stuff, but Java is somehow not in that great as of now. But we have a Scala which is somewhat similar to Java. So and we have Elasticsearch, Apache Spark, Tableau. So these are few visualization tools. Like basically, data science basically means like we have a vast amount of data, but we wanted to see that vast amount of data in terms of visualized way. Like we wanted to really make some meaning to the people who are actually going to use. So for those things, we are using the Elasticsearch, Tableau. So that will basically make a good visualization where you will be able to understand the data in a real time practical way. So that actually helpful for us to further implement the stuff. So here we can see the open source data science projects. So currently, so if you see so far, we have checked the what and all the different things currently trending. So, but whether are we able to incorporate all those things currently is the question and challenge we are facing. So currently, the problem I can say in this milestone. So if you take the time period from 2010 to 2013, like all the different e-commerce platforms are started growing to that level, and that is where we got also got launched, and it started getting very big audience that time, and lot of online payment systems got introduced. So once the online payment systems got introduced, so everything became complete e-commerce, and it's still traveling on that path. So it's basically say like it's a development phase. So now currently after 2014 to current, where we are is like we are basically doing the enhancements and the tech migrations. So in the year wise, I can say like development frameworks, lot of development frameworks are started evolving in the 2014 to 2016. Like I can say the frameworks like AS and the Spring, Hibernate. So those kind of frameworks where we really need to use for our real-time web applications. We started using those development frameworks, and the agile process is also becoming very practical in all the corporates and all the software development life cycles. Like previously we used to get the requirement beginning, and after that we never once before we deliver only we will show to our business people. But with this agile process, so it's basically like whatever we develop we will show to the business people every week, so the changes are accommodated and it will be keep on traveling into that. So that agile process incorporated. And from the 2017 to 2019, you can see that microservices architectures are implemented. So basically that microservice architecture is dividing your application into a multiple stuff. So to say an example, like if you take the Amazon, so Amazon provides a lot of stuff. I can say if you are a new user, you will get opportunity to sign up, or existing user, you will sign in, then you will do your reset password, then you will search your product, you will add to cart, then you will order, right? So basically 7 to 8 different steps we need to follow to order a product. So previously, before microservice, how it used to be, everything will be in a single architecture. So suppose you wanted to fix something or you wanted to develop something in one area, still you need to touch everything. Like all the application need to be redeployed, and it has to be there will be some downtime. So some years back, now with the microservice architecture, so what is happening is like if you wanted to do something on the only sign in, you can just develop the sign in module separately. So previously I can say Amazon was only one package. Now it has been divided into thousands of packages. Like where exactly you have the concern or where you wanted to enhance the stuff, just do or concentrate on that area, then rest of the stuff will not be disturbed, people can still use that one. So I can say the real time statistics, like every 1 minute Amazon is doing a deployment, which means that they are making lot and lot of deployments in a year. But still we won't face any downtime, but we won't face any concerns, technical concerns in Amazon, because of the architecture they are following, that is the microservice architecture. And the next one is DevOps. So DevOps is something which is another area that is getting picked. So it's basically the development and operations. So in the development, it's basically like as a developer or as a company, when you are developing some software, so what and all the steps you need to do. So everything will be automated. Starts from understanding the requirement and developing the product, and after that delivering, that is deployment, after that deploying in that server and showing the demo to business. So all these pipelines are completely automated, so that is grouped as a DevOps here. And the next one is cloud. So almost all the companies are moved to cloud now. And the other one is the automations. So automation is like AI and ML is bringing some kind of automations. So where we used to do the repeated jobs, so now the simple algorithm can do that. The other automation is the testing automations. Like every day, whenever we are developing an application, we wanted to do the thorough round of testing. So those kind of stuffs also got automated in this time period. So now currently in the 2020, Yeah, I am getting actually some voice.
Yes.
Uh, so can you all please go to mute? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so currently in the 2020 to next few years, so our technology resolutions or evolvement will be in these areas. Like we are majorly doing the tech migrations. So tech migration is nothing but like the softwares or the prototype which we developed many years back needs to be migrated to the current trending technologies. So that is the major focus for all the corporates. And the next one is the automations. So automations is are still 100% not met. So still it is also traveling with the 2020, and lot of R&Ds are going on AI, ML, and IoT data science projects for different structured, unstructured, semi-structured data to use it in our real-time applications. So that's the current roadmaps. So to implement that, so even though we have that AI, ML, IoT for last decades, still we are not able to adapt to all the companies because the corporates are facing these challenges. Like we have a skill, like day to day, we will have a different changes. Like if you could have developed a web application some years back, so that time Angular 6 was the latest version. Now Angular 9 came. So again you need to do lot of skills upgradations to to develop or to migrate on that path. So you will not be able to develop the application and just concentrate on the enhancements. So that skill upgradation is still the concern. The resources, so still we are not having good amount of resources. We are not able to find the resources where we need in the particular tech stacks. Companies are currently what they are doing, they are recruiting the people, they are giving the training, and then they are making use of those people to apply on the current technology or projects. So the next challenge is also the time and quality. So we have a constraint, like even though we are implementing the latest technology stacks, so it will take years and years to implement the solutions because things are getting evolved. We need to apply the latest technology stacks with the less cost as possible and also the good better quality. So that is also the another challenge for corporates. And we also have the process challenges. So now we have the agile process. So like every 10 or 15 days we have to be continuously in touch with business people to understand their requirements or what they are trying to accomplish. So it's mandatory that we both are in sync to develop and deliver a good better projects. And also the migrations, the thing which you have developed some 6 7 years back, now you won't be able to migrate that because of the technologies getting changed, or because of the you could have used something 5 6 years back. Now the same technology with the latest version won't be supported with your additional dependencies. So those are the problems where you will corporates and all the software development companies are facing the issues. And also knowing the business is very important. If someone is very good in all the latest technology stuffs, what are the process, what are all the different tools, even though if someone is having good amount of understanding on that area, still if we don't know the business about that particular company, they won't be able to develop all the use cases. For example, if you want to dimple net banking application, so it's mandatory to know about how a bank is functioning, right? So like you need to understand what is the mandatory documents needed to create the savings account, what and all process we need, and what is the RBI rules to be followed. So all these things very well to understand the exact application by applying the technology solutions. So these are the few corporate challenges. To recruit someone, you won't be able to meet all these things. So all the companies are forced to give their trainings on business and technology stacks and getting making them ready in that way. And these are a few technical insights. Like here I have highlighted what are all the different technologies, trending technologies we are using for all the different developments. So if you see like trending UI frameworks and trending enterprise backend technologies and trending process tools. So I'll say like how it is getting divided. So before that, I will give a short introduction, like how the web application will actually looks like. So whenever you are looking for a Paytm or Flipkart. So the what and all UI stuff you are looking, the same Flipkart will be different in the mobile and different in the tablet view and different in the laptop view and different in the big screens. So but the same website, right? So same website needs to be incorporated in everything. It automatically won't happen. So we need to use some frameworks. Like if you see the B icon, so Bootstrap framework by the Twitter company is doing that, or you can use the Angular material. So those are the few responsive trending technologies which is there in the market to use in the real time projects. So these three are like Angular, React, Vue.js. So these are the UI frameworks. One is trying to use that for the features and advantages it is offering. So this Angular JS is the framework offered by Google, and React JS is the second framework which is provided by Facebook, and Vue.js is actually developed by someone who already past employee of the Google. So these are the few UI technologies currently in trend where you wanted to develop any web application or where you wanted to migrate anything. So these are the few technologies currently we are looking into it. And the trending enterprise backend technologies. So here I have mentioned trending enterprise backend technologies. So in any of our slides, we won't be able to see the PHP. So PHP, but still out of, if suppose 1 lakh websites are currently available, out of that some 65 to 70,000 websites are developed using PHP or the PHP frameworks. But still, since this is an enterprise, in none of the enterprises we are actually using the PHP, because PHP, the security concerns and the performance where we need to get in the enterprise applications, still we are not able to use the PHP in the good enterprise use cases. So that's why PHP is not mentioned anywhere. So these are basically the enterprise or big corporate companies or targets. So these are the technologies they are currently using. So the first one is, yeah, Arun. So the question you asked, PHP, that is what I answered. Like the PHP currently we are not using in any of the big enterprise solutions. So in all the places we are using either the .NET, but cost we need to pay for all the .NET related stuffs. We are focusing on the open source stuffs, but still there also we have a concern. Like recently Oracle has introduced some cost plan changes in the Java also. So that is why now currently all the companies are started focusing on the Kotlin by Google. So Kotlin is basically will work as a Java in the same virtual machine it will use internally, but still it is programming language. And even Google has introduced the official language for all the Android application will also be Kotlin only. It won't be Java going forward. So because of the policy changes by Oracle. So but still all the enterprise companies are using Java because of the vast community support and the different technology supports we are getting in the backend side. So the first one is the Spring Boot. So basically it is the Spring framework. Like it provides lot of stuff. So if you want to develop a web application, what and all different tools you need, you will get everything by the Spring framework. Like you can assume like you wanted to develop a website, so first step will be login and sign in and sign up. So that authentication and authorization support has been provided. And once that application is ready, you wanted to log everything, so all the aspects are provided. And you wanted to communicate with the databases, so JPI support has been provided. So basically all the securities, performances, logging, all the different things which you will need or which you will think through will be provided by the Spring. So that's why Spring framework is the number one for all the backend technologies. So some companies are using the Struts framework, which is a different framework, but currently all the migrations are happening to the Spring and Spring related frameworks. And the next one is a Hibernate. So Hibernate will basically help us to communicate with all the database systems. So MySQL, it has been like 25 years now that MySQL got into the real time, but still MySQL is rocking because of the performance and because of the open source stuff, but still all the big corporates are using the Oracle because even though the company, they will be ready to pay even the money for the software, but they need good support, good data backup, and all those replications, all those stuff. So that's why big companies are still concentrated on Oracle. So and MySQL is the open source where all the PHP related and WordPress platforms, so all those are currently using. And the MongoDB, so MongoDB is the latest uptrending database site. Like MongoDB will basically store everything in the JSON object. Like the JSON is basically a very lightweight thing to transfer our data from backend to UI. So the MongoDB is very fast because it is handling everything in the JSON as JSON objects or data. So MongoDB is becoming very trendy now in this area. And we have RabbitMQ and Apache Kafka. So like where I told in the previous slide, so we have microservice architecture is getting into the picture. Like if you want to develop a website, login one microservice, and user management one microservice, separate microservice, and ordering one separate microservice, and shipping one separate microservice. So basically in a single package, that too you have divided into multiple different packages in the microservice architecture. So this RabbitMQ and Apache Kafka plays a very key role communicating with the different microservices. If you want to get some data, like some X users, what and all he has ordered in the last 3 months, if you want to fetch that detail, so what you have to do, like you will make a RabbitMQ or Apache Kafka to provide the communication between that user microservice and the order microservice. So now these two microservices will communicate only through some kind of queue platform or any REST template. So that is where that RabbitMQ is actually by Spring framework only. So that's why RabbitMQ is becoming popular, and Kafka is the another tool for the same purpose, and that is by Apache team. All are open sources. So here I have captured everything is open source except this Jira, AWS, Zoho, so some process tools, and Java 8. So now we all know that Java 7 we used to call that as object-oriented language, but from Java 8 we stopped calling that as object-oriented language. We used to call that as a functional programming language because it has changed a lot from Java 7 to Java 8. I can say like if someone know Java 7 even though very well, still they will struggle to code in Java 8 because the major changes are happened, some breakthrough changes are happened in the Java 8. So currently Java 13 is in the development, and so far we used to get very rare release from the Oracle team. Like if Java 6 is released after a year or after 2 years only, we will get the Java 7, Java 8 like that. But currently Oracle is also bringing that every 6 months they are bringing the next releases. So every 6 months now Oracle Java 13 is in the development. Maybe we will get another notification in another 6 or 8 months, like about the Java 14 features. Of course, it takes a lot of time to implement in the actual enterprise technologies because companies are invested so much on the technology. They just can't test the latest technology and get into the trouble. So basically, so that's why Java 8 something very stable where everyone can apply and proceed. So Java 8 is currently used in all the different technology stacks. And the other one is microservice where we spoke a lot about it, and the REST API. So REST API is something like UI is there, like assume you have developed some X website using the Angular, and backend you have selected, okay, MongoDB I will select as a data storage backend. Now we have Angular and the MongoDB to store. So we will communicate with Java, Spring, Hibernate. So basically, I am just trying to group like how a simple website will looks like. So the UI is Angular, and all the intermediate is Java, Hibernate, Spring, and data will be stored in the MongoDB. So now that Angular and the Spring can't talk directly. So that has to talk through the REST API. So that is how the REST API development is also very important in the current trend. And still till here, like all our core technical stacks to develop any web application. So we have a JUnit to test our, once the developer has completed their development, they wanted to test their own coding, so they will use JUnit to test their own code. And after that we have Maven and Gradle. So these are build tools. Like you have, suppose you have 4 microservices, you wanted to deploy or you wanted to build that 4 microservices independently. So for that we will use Maven or Gradle. It's basically a tool to make the package. So the another one is the Git. So Git is the one where we used to keep all our repository codes. So all the source codes, everything we will keep in the Git. So these are the UI and backend. So these are some process tools. Like if you Jira, so people who are in the agile process know very well about Jira or Zoho Sprint. So this is where we will track our day-to-day jobs. If suppose you wanted to develop some X functionality, you wanted to do some price comparison functionality, so we will write about that price comparison in the Jira and what are all the different tasks are involved in the thing, and that we will assign. And in the daily stand-up call or daily meeting, we used to use in the Jira or Zoho to understand how the software development is going. So that is how we are using these different process tools. And AWS and the DevOps and the Docker, all these are for the deployment. Now so far what we have done, we have picked some Angular UI side and the Java, Spring, Hibernate, MongoDB in the backend side to develop something. Now everything is running in your local. Now you wanted to move that to the server. So for that we are using the AWS server. We are moving all the data and everything will run in the Docker. So Docker is basically a container based system. Like everything will run as a separate container. So inside that basically AWS is a server. On top of the server we will have all the Docker container. Each Docker container will be a separate module. Like MongoDB will have one Docker container, Java or microservice one will have one Docker separate container. So that is how it will be structured in the server. So after that our UI Angular will be communicating with our backend through the REST API. So the Zoho Sprint is also another process tool like Jira. So these are basically the main technologies where all the big corporates or companies currently focusing to develop. So here you won't be able to see the Python, PHP, Ruby, so those stuffs. So I have prepared this slide based on the majorly used tech stacks. So Python is actually getting used more in the AI, ML, IoT data science projects, and also other C#, those kind of things are used in the Microsoft related developments. So this is basically I have focused on considering the technologies which are open source. Like if you want to go and try anything, all these technology stacks you can try because all are open source and you can very well try. But if it is a Microsoft, we have to buy, so that's why I didn't include all these things. And PHP also I didn't include because as I already mentioned, the enterprise use of the PHP is very less comparing to Java, so that's why I didn't include that also in this list. So few other trending things. So if you want to some blogging, or if you wanted to, so currently all the peoples are making their blogs like some finance blogs, health blogs, some tourist and guide blog or technical blog. If you wanted to do like that, so you have a WordPress. So currently out of 100 WordPress, some 70 to 75% of the blogs are using WordPress because of the support they are providing. So if you want to create your own website, you can just go and have a look about WordPress and the Blogger and the Medium. So these are the different CMS, so content management systems, which is supported, where you will be able to readily available to use for your personal development, or if you want to develop any static website, or suppose a X company is there, the X company is to just to share about their mission, vision, and about the contact us, some simple static website you wanted to develop and you wanted to launch. So you can just go ahead and try on these or the technology stacks. And currently mobile apps are everywhere. So last 7-8 years we are continuously concentrating more on the mobile app developments. Here the Kotlin, as I already mentioned, like still Java is supported develop the Android applications. So people who are developing the Android application freshly now are concentrated more on the Kotlin because Google has introduced that Android's official language is going to be Kotlin. So they stopped using the Java. So slowly we can see like after some 3 or 4 years, currently out of 100 applications in the Android market, 80 or 90 currently in Java. Rest of the new 10 applications are in Kotlin. So going forward, that trend will completely change. So the Kotlin application development and Kotlin tech migrations, so everything will come into a picture where Java usage will become really very less. And then React Native. So React Native and Ionic, this iOS. So this Swift is a basic programming language by Apple to develop the iOS web application for iOS supports alone for the Objective C, using the Objective C. So other than that, so these we call as a native technologies, because if you are using the Kotlin or Java, you will be able to develop a web application only for Android users or Android mobile devices. If you are using the Swift to develop a mobile application, your mobile application can run only on the iOS devices. Whereas if you are planning to use the React Native or Ionic, you can develop a single application which will actually run in both the things. Like it can run on the Android devices also, and it can run on the iOS devices also. Like a lot of small industries and small business peoples are started doing their development in the Ionic or React Native because of this feature. Like when they are a very small company, they can't invest much on Android. Okay, we will have a separate team for Android, separate team for iOS, so they won't be able to invest that much. So what they are doing, they are developing an application only in the Ionic, and the same thing they are planning to use in the all the frameworks, all the different devices. So these are mobile app technology stacks. So apart from that, I have captured few additional interesting details. Like currently, the programming languages, we have lot of programming languages, but if you see the report, recent report by official report by HackerRank platform, so currently people who are very good in JavaScript is getting hired more than other languages. So if you see the hierarchy, like JavaScript, Python, the next one is Java, next is C Sharp, next is C++, finally PHP, and other than that, like other languages. So as I mentioned, even though the PHP is actually more number of commercial number of common websites are using the PHP language, but still if you see the hiring way, it is placed at the sixth place only, because it can't actually make a meaning to the enterprise companies where more money is getting invested in that area. So that's why the JavaScript is became so popular recently, because if you see here in this slide, like trending UI frameworks, Angular, React.js, Vue.js, and even the Bootstrap, Angular Material, in everywhere one or the other way JavaScript is internally used. So if you know the JavaScript very clearly, like you will be able to understand that also. So that's why JavaScript is becoming so top in the last 2-3 years. And the next to that is Python. Python is getting more number of trendings because of the support it provides for the very trending technologies like AI, ML, IoT. So all those things are providing good support in the Python languages. So that's why people who are started doing the development are more concentrating on Python. Next to that is Java. So all the enterprise solutions are happening. Even C Sharp and C++ is also doing the same. PHP something very limited enterprise solutions and the more number of common websites. So that's where that one. And in the left side you can see best known languages report and best known frameworks report. Last 3 years you can see the JavaScript is number one, and 2018 it was number two and Java was one. Now the trend got changed last 2 years, and the Java is in still second place. C, Python, so that list is follows like that, right? So here best known frameworks, like as I mentioned, Angular, JS, and React. So those are the number one and two frameworks in the last 2 years, and the Spring framework, where all the Java backend applications are getting developed, is in the third place. And Django is the framework where Python is a programming language. Django is the framework where Python projects get adapted to that. And this Express.js, then ASP, Vue.js. So if you see out of this much frameworks, more frameworks are developed using the JavaScript. So that's why it is on the top one. And the next one is Java. So that's how that list is follows. The next one is like this is some another interesting report released by HackerRank, like which country has the best developers. Like basically HackerRank is the portal where a lot of people from the different countries are signing in and doing the programming exercises. So one example will be like one sample question I can say for understanding is like once you logged into the hacker rank, they will ask you to code. Okay, reverse the string. That is your programming question. Like if they are giving Google, you have to completely reverse and you have to print in the console. So people who are very new to the programming or people who wanted to learn the programming are actually getting into the hacker rank. So based on the number of problems and number of solutions provided by people, they have released a country has the best developers. So the number one is China, Russia, so Poland, like that the list goes. And India is in the 31st place in 28th, and UK is in the 29th place. So basically, it's just a one platform based report. So it won't be like 100% true, but HackerRank is something which is very common and very popular for all the developers. So it's just a report for our better understanding on the development. And the last thing is like so far we have solved lot of technologies, lot of stacks. So how to pick a particular tech to choose a particular thing to our use case? So we have to always go by the need. So if you see like here I have captured few important steps to consider when you wanted to pick a language. Like if you wanted to any of these solutions like multiple languages on the JVM, good documents, and a big developer community. So these are your concerns and your area of focus, and Java is the one to pick. And if you see the PHP, like vast libraries, like for everything you will have library. So like in Google, we will many times do a search like, okay, reduce the image size. So that image size reduce PHP library is readily available. So you can just replicate your own website in 1 or 2 days. And same way reducing the converting the word to PDF. So vast libraries are provided. Then also the developer community is very strong in that way also. Then we have Node.js. So it's basically like Node.js is basically in the JavaScript used as a server. So till now what we used to do, if you want to develop a complete web application, the major languages you need to is, okay, you need to know some HTML, JavaScript, CSS to develop some UI. You wanted to do some websites, maybe you wanted to show the list of products or list of details about the users, then you need to know how to code the same in Spring, Java, those kind of things. Like people who know only JavaScript will not be able to develop a complete web application was the concern. So that was solved by the Node.js. So now how it is solved, if you know only JavaScript, what you can do, you can develop UI side also, means client side also. In the server side, using the Node.js, directly you will be able to communicate with your Firebase, like Google's Firebase or any AWS DynamoDB. So directly you can actually go Node.js for the JavaScript as a server for our understanding. So that is the one. So we can actually, as lot of program technologies are available, it's very tricky to figure out which one best is suit for our need. So the core things what we used to consider is whether amount of community support, because when we are getting into some trouble, so we need to make sure like other people are also facing similar issue and this is the solution for that, some kind of support we need. So we cannot just pick the platform or framework where very limited thing or that kinds of concerns we try to avoid. And also it should be open source, because if it is open source then only many people will try, then many use cases could have been really done. So then